yards. Jackson to Bateman, first play from scrimmage.
And he gave him a little stutter inside, and Xavier Howard stumbled when he tried
in the pressure, which they've done. And CeeDee Lamb just, you don't want to give up the inside when you
on the big pass play, but he is hurt.
Yeah, and you see Agnew set up Griffin, and for some reason
that's being put on these corners. Juju Brents he's confused. Like, where is he going? Stops. That's a great.
That right shoulder you see here won a route, but now he's got to extend that back, and he gets hit on that play.
Here, number one, Garrett Wilson against Emerson's a matchup the Jets want. They want to hit that when they get one-on-one.
Just an excellent job of winning with speed. Now, that's Deron Bland.
Getting tight and really challenging these backup receivers, these younger receivers. How about that left hand?
Collins lined up on the outside here, but it's that anticipation with that velocity before. In the NFL and run after catch, only behind Tyreek Hill, it's Mr. Rice.
You know what that was?
Zone. And the big thing today is the big mistake. That is just Keely Ringo.
Enough room to be able to work towards that left boundary. Great job of setting up Reed, who's
on display on this play, because you got Deron Bland who's trying to keep up with him, and it's a matter of whether or not Jared Goff can get the ball out there far enough.
Coverage by the Seattle Seahawks, the secondary. They're playing what's called cover 4. That means that you have essentially man on the outside with the corners. You see Quandre Diggs.
Watch this route right here. He keeps going right there and then finds the open area. This is such a next level play. Chase.
This is what makes the move so interesting now. And they're working that option route down the field, and I told you.
Julian Love, he's a very good safety, but that's too tough of a cover for a safety.
Just an inside. He's the number 2 receiver. He's the inside vertical. Antoine Winfield Jr. He's number.
A scrimmage one more time, and they are just sort of keeping this defense offset. You haven't felt the pressure that is so much a part of Brian Flores.
We've seen Paulson Adebo, number 29, play this underneath technique with Tyrann Mathieu over the top.
Single time, if you get one-on-one coverage, and that's exactly what it was. Corey Ballantyne already a big game.
He's one-on-one, and he's guarding against CeeDee Lamb running past him, and it's open.
You get this deep out like this. He has got to throw this with the anticipation and the accuracy and the velocity. Nice job.
Look at this inside leverage. So what are we going to do? Fake the fade and throw it to the back shoulder before Thomas can get his.
Antonio Pierce was on the sideline screaming, get off. But how about Aiden O'Connell standing in as pressure was bearing down on him and
hits his back foot. Just watch this route. He sticks his left foot on that post.
I mean, you want to talk about beautiful throw. This is immaculate. You just can't, you couldn't walk down there.
And this is what happens when everyone gets nosy looking at the run. Great play action, great call by Mike Sullivan. Mason Rudolph.
The officials still coming together. There's not been any indication whether he was down or not.
Yeah, he's down.
Yeah.
Punt returner's mentality, and once he got that little bit of space, that was it. Nobody could get him on the ground, and he finished it.
And talking to Justin Fields this week, the one thing he said is they planned on putting DJ Moore in the slot because he felt like that.
And what a grab. What a finish. What a finish.
Guard Kappa right back. And the zone coverage passing off. But look at the in and outs.
This man across the board. So identify that right off the bat and know exactly where you want to go with the football.
He's not outside going against any of the cornerbacks right there. And he gets a chance to get matched up on Jesse Bates, who's coming from that safety spot, and he just outruns him to the pylon. But a great job by him. We call it late hands. He doesn't show it early.
That's just where I talked about early in the game. When Mahomes gets rid of it quickly, just a simple out.
But he's lined up in the slot, but this time Atlanta puts their best corner, A.J. Terrell, on him. He looks like his eyes are in the backfield to start that play, and that's where Moore gets outside of him. But this is one heck of a catch for a receiver. When you go over your left shoulder, Heineke, and then he goes up and he attacks the ball in the air and comes away with the interception. Ross, you said...
By Brandon Johnson, doing something really simple, coming flat. If he goes up the field,
He's matched up one-on-one with Drake London, and watch how aggressive he is, and he's able to get back and make the play. But he's able to do that because guys to watch how he works at the very top of this route. You're going to see him work his way outside. But look at that slight little push that he gives to DB, knocks him off balance. That is a veteran and a savvy move.
Type of pressure going up against arguably the best corner in your division. Came nice and flat on that.
They are messing up assignments on the outside, and I think when they switched, and you saw Melton, we have seen Owens, starting with that game in Detroit, start to make some plays, right? And he really has become defense, which means the middle of the field is where you want to throw it. But watch Jordan Love here. He's going to back up off his back foot, throw it like...
And you see Kelsey going up, and he ends up breaking in. But I thought Mahomes...
That's Johnson's second impressive play, if you ask me. Came flat on the other slant with the guy on his back, and that one he had to reach.
Maybe with a little extra, but watch Chase. He's going to be open, right? And then, boom, right at the end, Connor falls off. And that guy right here. He goes in, and he really sells it and does a great job.
Watch
on
the catch.
Turner.
Not clean.
And exactly, it was dicey at the end there, and you were like, oh, is it going to happen again to the...
Incredible afternoon. And Jesse Bates this week said how much A.J. Terrell was fired up for this matchup. Well, it has not gone well for him. The way DJ Moore finishes this...
Great coverage, and that's a tough assignment. Might have got away with a little pull.
So it's a matter if that right one stayed down long enough when he caught the ball.
With the interception right there. I think that's Pickens, big 96, who gets his right hand up there.
Last year he did play in rhythm and he was accurate. And you've seen a couple of balls that are...
It's super dependable, and he's uncovered. He's matched up against a safety, former corner, or used to be a...
Want to see more of from this Broncos offense. Here's Judy. There's the window. And he's just a little bit...
All year long. TJ Edwards just reading the eyes of Heineke as he comes back and dives.
Wow. That is spectacular. Let's see if he's in bounds. Definite possession, 1 foot down, 2 feet. That is a touchdown. I love the route. He's going against James Pierre.
Downfield catch. We don't see him used in this role necessarily that often, but he is really transitioning to more of a tight end.
The problem when you try to bring a safety down to stop the run, George Pickens, so gifted athletically at the wide receiver position, it was too easy.
In the last 2 possessions, Chris Godwin, he's just running the clear out. They're trying to run Mike Evans underneath him, and Baker Mayfield just has enough time to kind of go all the way.
Which is a good job by him. And it's as I said, Geno Smith throws it quickly, doesn't want to make a bad play worse. Let's take a look. Trey Brown, and that ball.
Pickens pinning it between his legs.
Very nice, very nice. All right, George Pickens, I stand corrected. Noah Fant on the edge, and he's going to just work the middle of the defense. And you notice that there's going to be these...
This is as comfortable as I've seen Kyler Murray in the pocket in this offense. There's things coming
right here on the outside, and he is playing really well right now, really gotten that confidence back, using it.
Really nice job by Jalen Hurts right here. This is what he's got on the opposite side, one-on-one right there with Starling Thomas. He kind of figures this out. There's Budda Baker coming in really late.
That in the pocket, not a lot of pressure from the Seahawks front four. Able to find Deontay Johnson, makes a nice move.
Down by contact.
But Lenore just has his eyes on the quarterback. Look at him drive back, watching it the whole way. You're going to watch him, see him walk across the football field and then get back in there. It's called an over-return.
By Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown. Push him, get him to open his hips. There you go. Now you snap it off, and the ball is already off Jalen.
Watch him read this. He sees the safety come down here. That's 20. Martin just replace where the safety comes down.
Yeah, and Baker just leaves this a little short. Great play there by Alontae Taylor. And
just a little over route right here. And this is that little stem where he gets a tad vertical, not a whole lot. And if you watch how long A.J. Brown is able to work this field until he finds that open spot.
Watch him here, Greg.
Yeah, and they were going to see this all day. They're going to have bodies on him. They want to be physical.
Catch.
Second touchdown of the day for Davante Adams.
Beat them in this spot right here in that zone coverage. And it's beautiful by Davante Adams, right? He goes up, presses vertical, breaks out.
Raiders trying to pull off a miracle late.
Attempting to deliver the football to, and it's incomplete.
Really, I love how Jenkins, it looks like the offense is staying on the field here.
Well, Tyrod's looking all the way left and then comes finally back to Hyatt, who's been his favorite target so far.
Play of the Giants season.
Well, Slayton does an excellent job of changing up his speed, and Witherspoon got lulled to sleep a little bit. Somebody up the middle and then worked the post outside. Tyrod Taylor misses a little bit behind him.
Yeah, excuse me, but this is a big-time throw and just wide open for Davante Adams. You would think coming into a game, right, when you have a guy like...
where you're going to get a little bit of a pull from Juice Scruggs to the backside. And then Robert Woods, nice route.
In his hands, Aiden O'Connell places this right where you want it. Right out in front so you can keep running with it. Just can't quite get a grip. Not fooled at all.
But this is what Michael Pittman does, right? The field, and they're just going to drag here and run Alec Pierce on the post behind it, and there's just too much space. This is as open as the one he missed earlier in the game, but Alec Pierce...
It just, sometimes it feels like you're not open. Davante said he talked to Aiden O'Connell a lot, said sometimes just throw it.
Yeah, we're going to watch both of these guys. Watch how much they separate. Those circles don't separate a whole lot. He kind of runs the route for him, doesn't turn him with that hand.
For Wink Martindale, because right now they're attacking space, any kind of space.
And look, Roquan Smith got him started with a one-handed catch on the interception. Isaiah likely finishes.
Play action game in the backfield, and then you've got Amon-Ra St. Brown. He gets Deron Bland turned around a little bit.
He's around this last year. He's going to put it in coverage. He trusts his arm, trusts his receivers. That's one that they've got to make a play.
5 yards in the air.
Okay, if you want to play press man against Tyreek Hill, if you don't get your hands on...
Job by Rager with his body control. He slows down and catches it to the outside, keeping Benford on that back hip. Not showing too early.
A lot of promise for what he can become. And this is how about going up against Denzel Ward, one of the top corners?
Then you're one-on-one on Cam Sutton, the outside corner. And Cam Sutton...
And watch Flowers. He throws the hand up. That's the old Randy Moss, throw it up open. And then he makes the extra move after the catch. Deshaun Elliott can't get him. And then on the backside.
Play. We will review that
play. And you see, there's the catch. And both feet are in. Does he survive the ground with the catch?
Dalton Kincaid.
Well, Kincaid's isolated on the safety right from the line of scrimmage. The safety
in a trust that he has in his arm. C.J. Mosley, 57 turns. He's expecting this ball to be thrown. You got Sauce Gardner out there. Two different defenders.
36.
This was as good a throw as Josh Allen's made all day, and it wasn't perfect, a little bit behind and low.
They felt it would be a team approach. Cedric Wilson Jr. gets the first crack.
He does a nice job of widening first.
Hands are 3 for 5 on 2-point tries. They've thrown it 4 times, run it once.
Play. Watch Bateman inside. His arm's working inside as well. And then Apple is there. So
yes, there was. Yeah, I'm
back to the ball. He waits on it a little bit, and because he waits on it, that gives Hyde time.
Well, you take a look at this play. This counts as a big play, and when we show you another replay, Troy, Derek Barnes had a shot at a safety.
It was a perfect call by Aaron Glenn, the defensive coordinator. He rushes 6, and Derek Barnes has a free run.
This was essentially the same route, but it's a much better job. You notice how Bateman continues to move? He doesn't just establish himself and set a wide. Remember the first play when they got to Achane on the quick toss and he took it upfield? This time they...
Now you get it, trying to get it to Gibson, who has great quickness. Tries to set him up to the outside. Ball's thrown.
Gained 113 receiving yards.
And that was another 3rd down, this time 3rd and 12. And C.J. Mosley actually turned with Cooks.
And yet, because they're trying to hit the seam, and it looked like they had it. They lay the ball out. It's a good throw by...
You'll see Ronnie Hickman, 33, who's going to try to come over and help out. So you had outside running down that left sideline, but the football brought him towards the boundary. So Great job of keeping the play alive. Ball. So Hickman knows he needs to cheat that way and read the eyes of the quarterback. Ball's going to come out fast because of Garrett. So a really good job of just using his instincts in a field. And the thing that really impresses me is when that ball is intercepted,